Only to be hurt and mistake. Not the victim to her ever-changing fate. My life is bloody, folded to her arms again. Like a dinner way to make her pay. So tonight, he's dead, take care of.
You know what, Bob? We're gonna talk right there again. Sorry, you are here, not live. Bangin Beers podcast. I did it again, back-to-back episodes. I forgot to hit the microphones. Give us a second.
No microphone.
I can't redo this one. Anyway, so we're just gonna pick it up from where we left off. It's not too far in, but Bangin Beers podcast. We're here. This is, if for context, we are here for the Halloween episode. So we just got done finishing Drunken Rabbit as well as Bruja. So now we're doing some Queen City, some Outlaw, and
Sable.
Sable. It might not be right. We'll figure it out. Let us know if you're a part of the brewery and we missed something, and something that you're like, man, they were right there, but they messed up, or the door's open. We can do a video call. You can join in. You can talk with us, hang out with us. The invitation's out there. So if you are the brewery of this beers we're drinking and you want to come on and do like an interview with us, and we can learn more about your brewery, like I said, send us a message. We're always here. Yeah. So we have a bunch of cool things lined up for you guys today. These beers. I'm not exactly sure where the topic's going to be or what we're going to talk about. Last episode, we talked all horror movies, but by the time this releases, who knows? We'll be topographical of what we're talking about. So
maybe we'll be talking Christmas movies.
Yeah. What's your favorite Christmas movie? I personally hate them all. No.
Or what's your favorite 4th of July movie?
Yeah. Oh, no. The way these go, you never know. Taking a nice drink out of my Dunder Mifflin, a division of Sabre, or Sabre.
Sabre.
Depends on how you say it. Glass. All right, let's crack the first one open, Bob. Which one do you want to start with?
What do you think? We got a porter. I'd say it's probably go Hefeweizen Lager Porter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes. Well, just because the porter might overpower you.
Yeah.
Me. Yeah, the weak boy of the show.
The weak one.
While he's pouring that porter, let's thank our sponsors. First off, Abaddon Tattoo Studio, unique professional experience nestled in the small town of Pine Grove, Pennsylvania. They provide high quality tattoos and piercings in a relaxed, professional, and sterile environment. You can check them out on our website. This episode is powered by Poddex. Poddex are a unique interview question and episode starting prompts in the palm of your hands. So whether you're starting a new podcast, existing broadcaster looking to grow your audience and get more engagement, you're going to want to check out poddex.com. Use code IWEP Network for 10% off your first order. And then the Tree of Life Metaphysical Shop. They are dedicated to providing a quality metaphysical and holistic goodies to you. Not only do they have an online presence, but they have a brick and mortar store located in Ringtown, Pennsylvania. They have something for everybody. So stop in, shop online, and see what you can find. Come grow with us. So our three sponsors, thank you guys so much for sponsoring us, helping us grow, do all this fun stuff, and provide a little bit of support when it comes to just helping financially out with stuff. So we also want to thank for people who do not sponsor, but they join our Patreon. So it's $1 or $5, or if you incline to do more, you're more than welcome to. It is just general support at the moment. There's no bonus content. We do everything live, or try to do live for you guys. So we want to thank Kelly from Crystal Mountain Healing, Tommy Borsrath, Tree of Life Metaphysical Shop, Higher Than Other Words, Jay Horror, and Austin Blackwell. Like I said, it's $1 or $5. If you want to check out and do that, our links are below, or you can head over to iwepnetwork.com to find all that information. Find our other shows on the network. There's something for everybody, from pro wrestling to spooky to interviews to pop culture. We try to cover all bases. It's all there. Support is thankful, and if you do it, thank you so much. There is a donation tab in there, as well as a merch page, so you can grab some t-shirts or hats or fanny packs or whatever your
leggings or book bag.
Yeah, whatever your bag is, baby, get it. You know what I mean? So we have it on there. First one's cracked open, poured. Bob, take us down this Queen City Brewing Company porter.
I'll take you down the
This is a Hefeweizen. Sorry, I started pouring. I'm like, that's definitely not a porter.
So Hefeweizen from Queen City Brewery of Burlington, Vermont. If you happen to be in Burlington, they are directly across the street from Zero Gravity. This is classified as a Hefeweizen wheat beer. It comes in at 5.8% ABV. It's been checked in 5.4 thousand times.
Holy fuck.
Queen City's unfiltered wheat beer, produced exclusively from German malt, wheat, and hops, is complex and refreshing. The large percentage of wheat provides a pleasant creaminess and long-lasting head, while our distinctive yeast produces subtle banana and clove-like notes in both the aroma and flavor, which perfectly balance the bready character of the malt. And they list the flavor profile as banana, light, smooth, clove, and sweet.
It has like a wine smell to it, almost like a dry wine.
That's coming off the banana.
Yeah. That's tasty.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's really good. Now, did you get to go to this brewery?
Yes. It actually wasn't on our itinerary, and we went to Zero Gravity, and they weren't doing any indoor seating as part of their pandemic precautions, and they put like I'm having a vocabulary lapse here. They had outdoor seating, and they put a
canopy.
That's a good enough word, yeah. But the Field Expedient covered it, and
Okay.
So like everywhere where you sat outside, it was like you were like baking in an oven. It was I had one beer there, and I wanted to stay, but it was so horrible sitting out there. And we got back to I'm like, hey, look, that's a brewery across the street.
And they let you go inside.
Yeah, I mean, every place had their own situation, but so yeah, and when we went in there, we were actually the first customers of the day. We were the only people in there for maybe 20 minutes.
Oh wow!
Really neat place. They had a lot of vintage beer trays on the wall on display, and actually inside the building I'm trying to think how to describe it right. There's like a standalone room in the middle of the building. And on the roof of that, as you sit behind a bar, there was I want to say it was like maybe a 1950 or 51 International Harvester pickup truck.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty neat.
I always get nervous. So we have a Quaker Steak and Lube restaurant, and you can sit like you're under an oil change of a car. And every time I'm underneath, I'm like, if I die eating fucking wings in a restaurant, I'd be really pissed.
Well, that's kind of how they got their name. The original restaurant of the franchise was built in an old gas station.
Really? Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah, they have fun wings. I like them. Queen City Brewing Company in Vermont. I just want to give a quick shout out here. I pulled up their info while Bob had their beer open. They average a 3.58 as a brewer. They have made 52 beers. So they're right there. They're a cusp of like a high 3 in between a 4. So that's not bad at all. They've had 59,000 total check-ins, 20,000 unique check-ins. They have 2,000 likes. You can find them on Twitter and Facebook, or you can go to their website at queencitybrewing.com, and they're located at 703 B Pine Street in Vermont. And they're only a mere, ready for this?
Yes.
296.8 miles away from us. So easy drive.
Easy drive.
We can
trip.
We can swing that. We'll just jump in with Rosa. We'll all take naps, and Rosa drives, and then we get loaded, and she drives back.
Yes.
Is that usually how it goes?
That's pretty close.
I
do all the navigating for whatever that's worth, and then bankrolling. But
yeah. Now I see you have a photo here. Is this the lady from the bar?
Let me go back. That was one of the people that came in later, and I was just talking to her. That was another place. Once there were other people there, one of the other people ended up being from down by Philadelphia. I passed out podcast stickers to everybody. Nice.
I have new ones I have to get to you then, bigger ones. Did I give you a stack of them already? The 3-inch?
Not the 3-inch yet.
All right, I'll give you a stack of those. All right, so the first one here, the Hefeweizen. I lost my place here. Queen City. Oh, there it is. Yeah, we don't do the scores here. If you want to check out our scores, head over to our Untapped. You just type in Bangin Beers Podcast, Anthony, Bob G, or I'm sorry, Bill. I always forget yours. If you just, I always tag them in every episode so you can find everybody on there. Andy couldn't make it today. He played in a rock show. He played a little
Yeah, a little rock and roll music.
I'm not a big person on that genre of music, but what was the band they covered?
I think did they do Kill Switch?
Kill Switch Engage. Yeah, it was really fun. I mean, I like them playing that music, so I guess I would like the band. So it was a really good time. There was a Kill Switch Engage cover. So pretty much what happened was, except essentially for Andy's band, it was a collaboration of other bands. So it might be like 4 members of a band and then a different other piece here and there, and then they just worked for a couple weeks on doing a complete set list cover of another band they like. So instead of just like, hey, we're doing the hits of the 90s or 2000s, they pick like, we're going to do My Chemical Romance, we're going to do Weezer, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. It was really, really fun, and it was costume contests, and it was a really fun experience. So by the time this airs, it won't matter anything, but we'll have photos and stuff up. So if you want to check that out, you can. What do we think of this beer?
I like it.
I like it. I'm usually not a Heffa fan, but
Yeah, this is really good.
good.
Yeah, I'm into this a lot. That banana, I think, is what changes. Because usually the Hefeweizens are a little, I want to say like they have a distinct.
There's almost always banana with it, and then like the coriander or
whatever.
it's very, very mild in this one.
Yeah, that's what it is. Usually the coriander overpowers it.
It lets the banana ride through. I really like that. It's different.
I always said there was something always in Hefeweizens that I don't hate, but it's normally my turnoff that I wouldn't go back to them or have a few of them. Like I try the style, and then I move away. And I think that's at the coriander, where this one more that banana and that other, like it's more muted. So I enjoy it a lot. It's really good. I will say this too: your cans are fucking awesome. Like they're just simple, clean. It's I like the queue with the. I believe, is that their brewery or their city? Is that their city landscape going on there?
I'm gonna assume that that's the city.
Yeah, big water tower. Looks like some churches. It looks like School County, to be honest with you.
And if I remember correctly, too, the other half of the building was a really great pizzeria.
Oh yeah.
When we decided we were done for the night, everything smelled so good that we actually went back there and we got 2 pies that we took back to the hotel with us.
How was the pizza?
Fantastic.
Nice.
Every place we ate there, or the whole trip was incredible.
That's pretty cool. Like when we did our road trip and we were doing the whole West Coast, it's like we had places on our map, and then we're like, we should stop here, and then we kind of swung in and checked it out.
So every place we ate, with like one exception, I planned ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the few ones that was unplanned.
Mm-hmm. All right, Bob, what do you want to go to next here?
I believe we said we were going to do the lager next.
Oh, so this is kind of cool. I don't know. Do they have a minor league team there or what's going on? But it has a little bit of a baseball reference to it.
Well, I actually didn't read the label to see if there's a connection. But back in the early days of baseball, when they used to have the barnstorming teams, there was a team. Bushwick is actually a neighborhood in Brooklyn. And if I remember the story right, the Bushwick guys were associated with a church, and they were famous for never cutting their beards.
Sorry. Did it for Halloween.
But so no, you'd like have the whole field, and everybody's got like ZZ Top beards, and they're
That's
playing
awesome.
baseball. If I might have the story boogered up,
Yeah,
with another one. But let me double check quick.
So there is no write up for this of why they went that route on tap, but it says here 1950 style American light lager made with Pilsner, malt, rice, and corn, the perfect baseball beer. At Queen City Brew, the traditional beer styles of the Europe and American right at home in our brewery in Vermont. So I guess they just kind of made a beer that would be great for a ball field. So I don't know if there's a theme to the Bushwick thing, if they went with the story you're going for, but there's really no description or write up exactly why they went that route. But I like the little baseball reference.
They were a barnstorming team, but they weren't the guys I was thinking of with the beards.
Yeah. This has been checked in 1,000 times on the dot. 1K. It's a 5% ABV Pilsner. One friend checked it in. you can probably figure out who that is. But yeah, we'll get right into this one here. I like me some Pilsies, so. Okay. I'm into it. Has a lot of flavor. Not a lot of Pilsners have that flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah. The corn. I'm gonna say the corn. Does it really stand out? The corn or the?
Yeah, it's funny because sometimes I think it's corn, and it seems like it shifts to where it's almost like a lemon flavor sometimes too.
Well, listen, you nailed it. You're sitting outside watching a baseball game or a football game. This is that you want to cut. This is your go-to. This is nice. I wish I had more of these. I would be drinking them while I'm handing candy out at trick or treat.
Yep.
Even though, this happened 8 months ago.
As Beetlejuice.
As Beetlejuice. So I'm actually going as Beetlejuice, but not as the suit Beetlejuice. I'm going as Beetlejuice when he wears the same outfit as what's his name? Like we shop at the same store. Like I have a flannel, the tan pants and the shoes. So that's what I'm wearing tonight. I'm going to be the Beetlejuice and the flannel. Yeah, that's what I'm going for tonight. I don't know how I'm going to do the makeup. We'll figure it out. It probably look terrible, but you'll see it on social media if you want to go check it out. We'll post it on Bangin Beers or all the other places. But well, since we talked a little bit about music, maybe we'll steer that ship for this episode. We'll talk a little music. What are some of your favorite genres? We'll get into a favorite song when you're in a bar. What do you like hearing? What don't you like hearing? Or we'll kind of tackle a little bit of those topics. Sound good? In between beers?
Yeah,
sound fine.
Yeah, why not?
I'll start with you. What is a genre of music that you're personally into, regardless of the situation?
I mean, I'm honestly all over the place. Like I like metal and like alternative stuff and everything. I don't think I have one specific line that I follow.
Is there a genre that's a complete turnoff?
I'm gonna probably say like more modern country. Like isn't really in my wheelhouse. Like I like older country's good.
Hank Williams.
Yeah, like Hank Williams. Like
it's specified Hank Williams Senior.
I almost draw the line like the Garth Brooks era.
Yeah.
And anything pre him I'm fine with, and everything like after him.
Yeah. I feel that
is pretty much it, but otherwise I'm not like super picky with music.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I have a hard time with country in general. It could be Garth, not Garth. I mean, I can listen to Cash, Zach Brown. I like him. There's another country person I think is pretty decent. I just don't remember his name right now.
Like so, some of the more modern female country I don't mind. I like Maren Morris and stuff.
My problem is I feel like a lot of country female and male singers all sound the same. They put that same twang on. They put the same style. Like there's no change in any of them.
Yeah, I mean, to me, a lot of that too is they're not even playing country music anymore. A lot of those guys.
It's like
that's just
they popped it up
rock and roll with a singer having a country accent anymore.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What about you, Bob? Genres of music you're into?
I'm all over the place. I guess my home base is blues and hard rock metal, but I get into tons of different crazy stuff. I like a lot of rockabilly and psychobilly too.
The cool thing about changing the style of the show up a little bit, where we're doing this and talking like on topics like this, like we're learning about each other, which I think is fun. You know.
A big fan of the Reverend Horton Heat.
Okay.
A huge Bon Scott AC/DC fan.
Okay.
I love Deep Purple. Howlin' Wolf. A bunch of the old blues guys. I love Zeppelin.
Who is the first band? Like, so for me, I grew up with my dad as a DJ, so a lot of his music was like, hey, this is what I like, this is what we're listening to in the car. I didn't really have a say what was played. I owned one tape. I owned like the Ninja Turtle soundtrack that had tequila, but instead of tequila, it was just Master Splinter saying tequila. And then I had the Vanilla Ice ninja rap.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They were the songs that my dad's like, I can't fucking listen to this anymore. Like, I'm not driving around listening to that, and I listen to this day. I love that song. But yeah, so that was my first tape. But what was that first band or first thing that you felt like it wasn't pushed onto you by your friends? It wasn't pushed onto you by your parents. Like, it was like, this is my band. Something about them drew me to them. Like, this is the first one I found music wise.
The Beatles.
The Beatles. Okay.
I'm still a big Beatles fan today.
I love the Beatles.
Yep. I'm very excited for the documentary on that's coming to Disney Plus
About the Beatles
on Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Really?
It's is it Guillermo del Toro or one of those guys they actually went through like old footage and cleaned it up. It's like a 6-hour
That's exciting
thing of them recording. I think the album that would have been titled Get Back, but then ended up being Let It Be.
Mm-hmm.
It's about that and how they did the rooftop concert
Oh
where
my
they like argued that like how are they going to end this? Like there was already a documentary that came out that was that, but it was more like manufactured to tell a certain narrative. But this is apparently all the raw, like everything.
It's awesome.
It's going to be like a 3-part.
It's crazy because if they didn't start dying off at that point in time, that Get Back concert and that Get Back video where they're on the rooftop, it's crazy because like I don't know the Beatles timeline, but from what I understand, like at that point in time they were kind of gone. Like they kind of went, they were doing their own thing, they were doing solo stuff, they were kind of doing, they were forging their own path.
I'm trying to remember, was it for that one or was it for Abbey Road? They actually hadn't when they got back into the studio to record the album, it was like the first time in like 3 years that they had all actually performed together. Everything else was done in the studio.
Yeah,
I think it might have been that one because I know I think George famously walked out on them during the Get Back sessions.
Yeah.
Like they were trying to do stuff and he was like, no, I'm done. And he just walked out.
Yeah. That
And
Get
then
Back,
he was
that
like-
Get Back, that song and the feel of the people on the rooftop in the street really like, holy fuck, like they're like, it was special feeling. Like, it's like, man, what they could have been if the things didn't happen the way they happened.
It's just even crazy that like to think they didn't even like really tour that much. They were just like kind of like a studio band where they would just make albums and that was it. And then they wouldn't tour.
They got turned off on touring early on. Yeah.
Because I mean that Beatles mania where they're getting chased on the street and people were grabbing at them and going nuts. Like I'd be like, hey, we're making just as much money not touring. Yeah, I'm not doing that no more. Or I can't like appear places or like you think they're young. They literally lost their whole youth and their teenage years and their like young adult years because if they went out in public, it would like fucking cause mass hysteria. You know what I mean? Like it was nuts. I do like old interviews with them where you could tell they're just getting bored, getting asked the same 6 questions and they just start trolling and messing with the people. I love that. I can watch those for hours where John Lennon just messing with people. So much fun. They're like, do you think Ringo is the best drummer in the world? And he's like, he's not even
the best drummer in the band.
He's not even the best drummer in the band.
There is actually,
because that was a lot of people don't realize how multi-instrumental Paul McCartney was.
Yep.
Paul McCartney just played drums on a Foo Fighter song.
Yep. That's I'll actually plug. There's a podcast. It's kind of, I don't want to say done now because they'll just put things out now at this point when it's relevant, but they actually went through the whole Beatles catalog of everything and they talked about like every like little beat of everything. It's called Screw It. We're just going to talk about the Beatles.
Nice.
It's it's a pretty good listen because it's like comedians and musicians that are all Beatles fans, but they go through like how they got introduced to them and all that kind of stuff. And then they talk about all the albums and what they thought the first time that they heard the album and their impression and all that kind of stuff.
Did you see the movie Yesterday?
No, I know about it, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool where he just like playing Yesterday and everyone just like they're like, that is the most beautiful thing I've ever heard. And he goes, who wrote that? The Beatles? And they're like, what are the Beatles? So he's like, and then he just starts realizing that the Beatles never existed. So he just starts taking all their songs. It's just kind of funny, but yeah, it's a cool movie. Awesome. So if you, let's crack the next one. I'll get my next question going here then. But yeah, the lager, fantastic job, you guys. Really good beer.
Yeah, Paul actually started with the band. He played guitar, and he switched to the bass to accommodate. I want to say it was George, but
see, I always thought it was George was in the band and Paul wanted to be a part of the band, but he was in another band but wanted to join them. But they're like, well, we already have a guitar player, or 2 guitar players. We can't have a third. So he picked up a bass like out of a pawn shop just so he can be in the band. And he just like, I'll play bass just to be in it. Like, I could be wrong though. So which one are we drinking now, Bob?
this is the Yorkshire Porter, which I do not have ready. Give me 1 minute.
Oh, you're good. I got it here. The Yorkshire Porter is a 5% ABV English style porter, 7,000 and I'm sorry, 7.1K check-ins, averages a 368. Once again, no write up here for that one. Let's see if there's anything on the can. It just Queen City's version of this classic English dark ale is rich, full-bodied, and well-balanced, with an understated hop bitterness and a malt profile, accentuating the chocolate and coffee-like character. All right, just hearing coffee, I'm going to go small pour. Full disclosure, I have a hard time with darker beers. Smells like coffee. Hold on.
A lot of chocolate on top.
Yeah.
Of it, though. Yeah.
Yeah,
I smell chocolate. I smell chocolate. I hope I taste like chocolate. Please taste like chocolate.
Like I get a little bit of coffee on the back end, but it's mostly chocolate and sweet to me.
Coffee. Yeah. Fucking wow. If there's surgery I can get, or like hypnotherapy, where I can be like, stop everything, not taste like coffee. Maybe I could try that. They could hypnotize me and make me like the taste of coffee. I think that's possible. Just so I can be better on this show. That's not for me. I'm gonna check it in, but I'm not gonna score it. I don't want to give them anything like a bad score. It's just not my style, not my thing. If you can, have you ever seen, like, you ever experienced the Beatles at all? And like probably never seen, like, you ever seen Paul live or anything?
No. I wasn't a concert guy until I got out on my own. And then of course, when I got out on my own, I went overseas right away. So I actually never even went to my first concert until I was 23.
Oh wow, who was your first concert?
Night Ranger.
Mine was Blink-182 and Green Day. It was fucking awesome. It was really cool. Blink-182 is that band that I found first. Going back to like the initial topic thing. They were the first band where I was like, oh, I'm really, really into them. It was Blink-182, and then shortly after Blink-182 was Linkin Park. They were my first 2 bands. Because growing up, my dad really had me into like Zeppelin, The Who, Aerosmith. I loved Aerosmith. To this day, I think they're probably one of my favorite bands. I like really into Aerosmith. Motley Crue, loved Motley Crue.
See, now I don't know. I thought Too Fast for Love and Shout at the Devil were pretty good albums. And then I just think after that, they were just generic hair metal. You might as well have had anybody on. It did look the same, sound the same.
Absolutely. Yeah, I can agree with that. See, I'm actually now, as an adult, actually going back and listening to albums, because I was always the single EP guy, like, because most of my way I consumed music back in that time, because we didn't have money to buy each album, was just the hits, whatever they played on the radio, whatever played on TV. So all I knew is just what was given to me. So now I'm at an older age, like I'll be at work, I'm like, I need to listen to something while I'm working, so I'll put an album on just to kind of experience that album, because there's a lot of songs I didn't know existed.
So you just made me think of something funny. As I remember, Lance Corporal, I was still a private or a PFC then, and the Walkmans being so big, and my first real paycheck out of my own was like $239, and I spent over half of it on my first Walkman. And between doing all my, having to take care of all your, like, I didn't have enough money for a tape, so I had to wait like 2 more weeks, so I got paid again until I could actually listen to anything. And it was like walking around like even though it wasn't that big, it was still like walking around like a brick on your hip.
Yeah. Absolutely. I had a cassette, and then when CDs came out, I was like, "This is awesome." And then you try to go for a walk with it. It's like skipping every 30 seconds. Like, this is fucking stupid. This is stupid technology.
Or it's too large for in your pocket.
Yeah.
Like,
This is bullshit.
Mhm.
Yeah. What was your first concert you ever went to?
my first concert,
Yeah.
was Hootie and the Blowfish.
Hootie and
Hootie
the
and the Blowfish at Hershey Park. And the other year I got to relive it because they played at Hershey Park again. And I'm like, I am going. I distinctly remember there was a lady dressed in all leopard print, and my cousin and I were just like looking for her because, like, not for any like
Nostalgia.
not for any like specific purpose, but like we were like, okay, when we were here young, I distinctly remember a lady just wearing entire leopard print.
She's like,
So we're like, is she here again? And we're like looking around for her.
the chances of
whole-
her being like,
The chances of her being there were probably pretty slim.
and
But
to wear the same outfit.
yep.
Yeah. Could you imagine you wore the same outfit you wore when you were 9? You're just like,
Yeah, yeah. I'm really enjoying myself.
I hope someone remembers me.
Do you remember I sat in these seats 30 years ago?
Wearing the same t-shirt.
But yeah, but that was my first concert, and then
Wearing a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle shirt that like comes up to you.
Like a fucking belly shirt.
yeah, I'm Raphael.
Yeah.
I'm cool but rude.
That's awesome. What was the first band that you discovered on your own that wasn't like that you sought out, like that was like, oh shit, I really like them?
Yeah, I honestly don't know. It's hard to say because like my dad, when I was growing up, when we would like, he'd be working on the house and just playing like all kinds of music because he's the same way. He's like all over the place music wise. Like I remember hearing Neil Young and then hearing Led Zeppelin and then hearing the Beatles and then like, so I don't know one specifically that like
Is there
I can think of.
So here's
that,
a question.
like,
Is there a band that for you guys that you found turned your parent, your dad, or your mom onto, and they were like, wow, this is really good? Like, where you kind of exposed them to something, or like something that you didn't think they would like, and then they were like, I actually really into this album.
Yeah.
What was the album?
Probably the most recent is the new album off of Man.
Okay.
My dad and I were going somewhere and I put it on, and I'm like, because when we're driving somewhere, I'll try to put something on that like isn't like really like heavy metal or anything. I'll just know something that like I enjoy listening to that I think he would like. Yeah, and he enjoyed it.
How about you?
I'm gonna say no.
No. So for me, mine would be American Idiot by Green Day. I put that on, and my dad was like, this is really good. Like, I'm really into this album. Like, it's crazy how much it still holds up.
Yep.
Like, you can play that album right now in our political climate, and people are like, holy shit. Like, this has happened in 2004 or 5, you know what I mean? And the other one was very shockingly, My Chemical Romance, Welcome to the Black Parade. I played that album for my dad, and he was like, this is good. Like,
I would honestly jump in, and I'm also Ghost, like playing Ghost songs for my dad.
Did you hear the new Halloween Kills song?
Yep.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the music video is really cool.
I didn't see the video yet.
It's really good.
I liked Siri.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, with the talent show.
But like I would play like that too driving around, and he was like, oh, this is good. I like it.
Ghost has a cover of Here Comes the Sun, except the way they spin it, as instead of Here Comes the Sun Rising, here comes like the Antichrist, the sun. It's actually pretty cool. Yeah.
But yeah, that's another one too, is like that. Just like, and even I think we talked about them before with Ghost. Just even seeing them, like I've seen them a couple times, and the crowd is wild because it's everything from like small children to people in their 70s.
I think it's
that
cool
are like
with them too,
actually like excited to be there,
and people buy into the shtick to it.
Yep.
Where you're not going to a concert, you're going to a sermon.
Yeah.
So like people treat it like church. It's funny. Well, satanic church. It's pretty wild. But all right, let's crack our next one here, and while you're cracking, I'll think of something music.
Where are we going?
Let's go outlaw. Let's go outlaw. if you can see a band right now, we'll do a band that's out right now, or a band that's no longer around. Who would your picks be? And once we pour this and talk about it, we'll go into that topic. A lot of head there, Bob. A lot of head. All right, what is this one? The Outlaw.
American Blonde Ale.
All right, this is a 5.1 ABV. The first beer on the list that's not Queen City. This has been checked in 309 times, averages of 347, and it is by the Outlaw Brewing Company, a nano brewery in Westchester, New Hampshire. They have made 37 beers, average a 371. Here's some of the beers. Just going to kind of give them a rundown. The Cranky Yankee, the peanut butter white stout, an English blonde ale, the Outlaw Summer Wheat, Chloe, a beer called Thank You, Naked, NAKED cream ale, experimental raspberry. Yeah, they have some cool stuff here. Now, you said you went to this place and it was kind of like just on someone's property out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. You pull up and it's like in a farmhouse setting, and they have a picnic table set up everywhere. They had a band playing the day we were there.
Was it like outlaw rock music, like
It was
ZZ Top, or like
70s rock? Yeah,
love it, love that.
It was really nice. Again, all the beer we had there was fantastic. That was our introduction to New Hampshire. It was the first place we stopped there. So that was a good sign.
Cool. Did you get to talk to, like, now you said it's like out in this guy's property? Is he there walking around, meeting, talking to people?
Apparently he is. Sometimes he wasn't there while we were there. There's a Bangin beer sticker there somewhere too.
Oh, sweet. So anytime when we take a sticker and put it somewhere at a brewery, take a picture of where it is, and we'll use that for the social media. I forgot to tell you I told you, like, set day 3 into your trip or 5 into your trip. I forgot to say something, but next time when you're out, just like wherever it's at, just snag a photo of it. Like, just see where in the wild we are. I don't know if it was Andy's guitar case or somebody else from the band's guitar case, but there was a Bangin beer sticker on someone's guitar case. I was like, that's kind of cool. Pretty thankful for that. All right. Initially, interesting smell here. Okay. I'm gonna kick it to you here. I don't know what just happened to me right there.
Did we read the review on this one?
There was there's a write-up. Our American Blonde Ale is Our American Blonde Ale is light, juicy drinker, great on a hot summer day, and even better as your old faithful beer when you need something refreshing. I agree. Very light-bodied, easy to drink. My initial first sip, though, was very carbonated, like very bubbly. Am I the only one who got that?
I didn't get like an overcarbing or anything, but
I'm gonna take another sip here. So I'll kick it to you guys. What do you think of this one? I feel like I have to burp.
I like it. It's a little sweeter than I expected for the style, but other than that, I have no complaints. It goes down smooth. It's easy. 5%. That's definite session range. I could drink this all day and not complain.
Oh, we got something right here. So about the company right here in the can, the Outlaw Brewing Company is one of the tiniest breweries in the state of New Hampshire, nested in the hills of Sunny Valley. We invite you to come and join us in our tap room for a tasty Cranky Yankee, or one of our fine brews. About the beer, in 2017, we began our tiny brewery with one beer, our American Blonde Ale. This is our flagship brew. So this is like their first one they ever made, which is kind of cool. We carefully choose from a premium blend of fresh I'm having a stroke. Blend of the finest 2-row and caramel malt, and crafted what is still one of our most popular brews. Pico, P-E-K-K-H-O, and Citra hops deliver a delicious, refreshing beer that can be enjoyed by anyone, anytime, anywhere. So just to be very clear, none of us here, for the most part, are brewers. We don't maybe some people experimented more than us, but we're just everyday people who drink beer, so we don't know the names of every hop or what they do, and we just drink it and say what we talk about, and then talk about some fun stuff in between while we have a beer or two, just to be out there so people are like, these fucking guys do a beer podcast and they're dumb. We don't claim to be experts.
We're not exclusively dumb. Also, it's expensive to get your Cicerone thing, because I was looking into it and I'm like, that is entirely too much money for a fucking piece of paper.
So my next
to say that I can talk about a beer properly,
And then pair
in quotes, properly.
Yeah. Joke's on you. I can buy a $400 microphone and talk about it whenever the fuck I want.
Yep.
Stop me, Cicerone.
Yep. Yeah. Master level after paying thousands of dollars.
Yeah. Anyway, the next sip here was definitely not as carbonated. I guess it was just fresh out of the can, and I hard poured it. But no, it's good. Very light bodied, easy to drink. Because like I said, they nail it perfectly. You could drink them all day long. I'm gonna protect the 4 though. I'm gonna go protect that 4. It's good. It's really good. I would definitely have it again. If I was hanging out there listening to a band, this would be my go-to for the entire night. Did you have food or anything here?
No, we didn't eat there, but I'm trying to remember where we did eat that day.
And also, Outlaw is on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We'll be tagging them as well when this episode drops.
Yeah, but another place, like I said, every beer I had there was fantastic. Everyone that we spoke to on the staff was friendly and helpful. No complaints at all. I would gladly go back there any day again.
Nice. Yeah. I like the fact that they're like a nano brewery still, and they're doing cool stuff and having breweries and bars and bands. It's kind of cool. I like the name too, Outlaw, with the little hop with the cowboy hat on. Pretty dope. All right, so I'll start with you, Bob. The question here that we posed: a band you can see live right now, or a band that maybe not together or around anymore that you would love to go see?
So that's a tough one.
I think we all might say the same band, or one of the 2 bands,
because there are many bands and solo acts that I never got to see, or you didn't see them in their prime live.
If you want to rattle off a few, you can. You don't have to nail it down to one.
I mean, again, I would have loved to see the Beatles once. Zeppelin would have been great to see.
That were the exact 2 I said that I think every one of the tables going to say, like Zeppelin and the Beatles.
Elvis in his prime. I never got to see John Lee Hooker or Muddy Waters or Howlin' Wolf.
I would be interested to see the Beatles. We had Beatles-esque bands come out. Nothing to the same level as the Beatles. We had the Jonas Brothers, but when you're older, and we're the older crowd when these bands come out, you're like, why are these kids going crazy and acting like fools over this? And probably the same way people's parents felt when the Beatles came out, all these teenage girls, it's a teenage girl band, and now they're one of the most popular bands that ever existed.
It's one of the not to turn this into a Beatles episode, but I mean, it's the band that's going to live on forever. Every single parent or guardian is going to introduce their younger charge to the Beatles.
So my dad hates the Beatles.
Everyone is just gonna.
He's a big old school Elvis, Carl Perkins, all in old school country, and he's like, the Beatles ruined music.
But it's the Beatles started as a cover band to bands like Elvis and stuff like that.
But they got into that through skiffle music, even. I mean,
my uncle loved the Beatles, but he didn't like them once they turned psychedelic. He only liked Beatles when they were.
Well, there's a thing that people were wondering what the Beatles would sound like if they were still all alive and together, and people were saying they'd be more along the lines of Electric Light Orchestra, that kind. they think that that's the direction they would have went into, but I mean,
I don't know.
well, like really, you would never know. Like,
So that's funny because like I remember a thing where a guy did like a hypothetical, what did Jimi Hendrix do if he'd have lived, and they had him go through a disco phase.
yeah, it's like there would be things that could come out of anywhere and just grab their interest and be like, hey, we're going to do this.
Since we're still on the Beatles thing, I will ask one more Beatles question while we're here. I think it's fun and we're rolling with a little bit. Out of all the Beatles who went solo, who's your favorite? I mean, obviously, sorry, Ringo.
But that's
Ringo.
I consider Wings to be Paul McCartney solo because it was always Paul McCartney and Wings, and if you're going to gauge any kind of success, by far, he buried the rest of them as a successful.
George was
solo.
really. I didn't realize how many George songs I knew and liked, but didn't know it was George.
Yeah,
but I think if you're looking in terms of sales and who made the most money off the deal or got the most airplay, by far Paul McCartney did.
Mm-hmm.
Lennon had potential, but he waited. He after the Plastic Ono Band thing, he waited too long to come back out.
Yeah,
and,
I mean, Imagine is amazing, but that's not many people can name another Lennon song they're into besides maybe that one.
I mean, but like when he came out again and shortly before he was killed with what was it, Milk and Honey and Double Fantasy.
Yeah.
There was good stuff on that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but he hadn't made an album in 10 years, 12 years. He just
like it's like Paul even now, like he just keeps cranking out music. Like he's just,
his big thing now is he just wants to collaborate everybody.
Yep.
He's like, who can I work with?
Yep.
Which is super dope.
But he just keeps working. Like he keeps working at, like, it's to your point, Bob, like John waited too long.
Mm-hmm.
So he rested on his laurels for however long, and then he's like, oh, I guess I'll put out a new album.
Paul had to keep working because he every divorce fucking crushed him.
Well, that was another thing too. Like a lot of people don't realize like the creative differences they had, and that was the thing that irritated John Lennon all the time is that like he called a lot of the stuff that Paul wrote old lady music.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, well, John also too had that thing where he was trying to be like woke before woke, but then also would smack around his wife. So I don't know. It's interesting to see how things would have played out. Like, I think if there's still like, there was a call for like cancel culture, like on John Lennon after like the domestic stuff came out that people knew. But then when the younger people were like, wait, this happened. No, I'm not listening to that no more. Like he would have been tough to maybe get by today's culture. Paul's doing fine. George is, I mean, you don't want to see anyone be gone, but I think if George was still here, I think he would have gave Paul a run for his money. He was just so good.
Yeah.
Such a good guitar player.
Well, that was another thing too with him, getting involved with the Traveling Wilburys. Not only did it rekindle interest in his music, but it took him in a different direction. The Traveling Wilburys were fucking awesome.
Yeah, they were. That would have probably honestly be when you said about like what band would you want to see, it would be them.
Yeah,
like hands down. Just everyone involved in that band was so talented and just they were just like above the rest. Like because I figure what Tom Petty, George Harrison. When Neil Young was in there, I think in the Traveling Wilburys, was he in there?
Neil Young,
or no? It was
one of the guys from ELO was in there.
But it's just like all the guys that were in that band were just like I think they would have been one that I would have wanted to see.
It was Bob Dylan, George Harrison, Jeff Lynne.
That's the guy from ELO.
Yeah. Roy Orbison and Tom Petty. That was them. That's fucking That's a lineup.
Yep.
That's nutty. Yeah. So what are some bands in today's time that you can technically you can go see if you really wanted to, but you haven't yet?
See, most of the newer stuff that I get into is like in the don't like the direction most mainstream music has gone into, and the newer bands that I tend to follow are like often little niches and stuff.
Mhm.
Um,
I have mine on deck if you guys need more time. But I would say for me, the Foo Fighters. I really, really want to see the Foo Fighters.
They're good. I went out to Pittsburgh to see them.
Oh my god!
Like,
If anyone knows anyone, if you ever stumble across this and you know somebody, I'll take me to go see the Foo Fighters. And then the other band for me that I'd like to see live, I want to see Aerosmith. I want to see Aerosmith one time.
I've seen them too.
twice.
Yeah.
I saw them once, and the opening band was Run DMC.
Oh my goodness gracious! Yeah.
Trying to think when I saw them the first time, White Lion opened for them.
Another one I'd like to see live,
And-
but it has to be in a certain venue. Got to be Madison Square Garden. I want to see Billy Joel. I want to see Billy Joel in Madison Square. But tickets are so fucking expensive to like sit in the parking lot.
Yep.
The second time I saw them, they played with Kiss.
Oh, Aerosmith.
Aerosmith, yeah.
Yeah. They did that Kiss thing for a while. That's when I almost went to go see them, but it just didn't pan out for me. And then we were gonna go see them in Vegas, but then we couldn't do it. Yeah, they're my couple there. A few through. What about you guys? Sorry, you, Bill.
As far as what, like
Bands you want to see today that you haven't seen yet?
I haven't seen yet. I don't know. Probably Bob Dylan. I know I have a chance to because he's touring now.
Yeah.
But on the last round of tours, I had bought tickets for my dad and I to go see him, and then it obviously got canceled because of COVID. And then now, but him, I want to see Paul McCartney.
Yeah.
Like he's on the list to see. So probably those two.
Mm-hmm. You think of any?
So I don't know. That's hard because, like, I'd love to see Paul McCartney too, but I'd never pay that much for a ticket.
Yeah, that's the
like I have a couple people I know that went to see the Stones last time they toured in a 450. I'm no, sorry, not doing it.
Yeah, that's a lot. All right, so the last one we have here is I'm not going to try to say their name again because I'll fuck it up. But this is the Oktoberfest.
This was another cool place too. I'm going to pronounce it Ausable. Hopefully that's correct. This is in upstate New York. This is way upstate New York by Canada. This was the first place we stopped when we crossed from Vermont to New York.
So everything up there is 16-bit because in Canada it's 8-bit. And then
yeah. And this place, it's out in the middle of nowhere. We actually lost internet service a couple times out there. It's on what looks like an old farm. They have a barn set up for drinking outdoors, and there's also a stage in there. And actually, while we were there, they were setting up the stage for a show later in that day. There's a nice little pond there. There was lots of outdoor seating, and there's just mountains everywhere in the background when no matter where you sit. It was a beautiful place. And again, we only talked to 2 people that worked there. We were there pretty early in the day. And again, everybody was super nice and helpful. And every beer we had was fantastic. I would go back there any day again.
So it says here on the can, it's our take on the classic German style Oktoberfest. It's brewed with the choicest pilsners and munchy malts, balanced with notable hops for a highly drinkable celebratory beer. Light amber in color with warm toasty malt flavors with a crisp finish. This beer is made for wool sweaters, colorful leaves, and changing seasons. Cheers! And I just want to give this brewery a shout out here. I'm just gonna say Ausable. I hope that's correct. 125 beers. They average a 385. So they're right there when it comes to a thing. I'm looking. I just seen Wayne Legetsky beer. I just thought that was funny. Full Cord, Plowman's Lunch, Mud Broker Porter, a Hefeweizen they had there, German Kolsch, Imperial Scotch Stout. That sounds insane. Hair of the Badger, a Wendigo beer. There you go.
There you go.
A little true behind illusion, a little spooky. The Wendigo beer is a Imperial Double 8%. It averages a 4.11. So if you go, a Galaxy IPA. I want to try to find a whiskey sour. Sugar Bob's. There you go. Do you have the Sugar Bobs?
No, I do not.
I just love beer names. I don't know. I'm into it. Yeah, so it seems cool. All right. Well, I'm super excited. I love Oktoberfest. We had one the last episode that was fantastic from I've already forgot him.
Drunk Rabbit.
Drunk Rabbit.
Yeah.
Here we go. That's the best color in beer right there. That amber. It's beautiful. It's good. It's good. This is can we just have October, like can we just move somewhere where it's Oktoberfest every day?
It's malty, caramel,
Yep.
a nice bread notes on the finish.
I think the Drunk Rabbit had more like a thicker consistency to it, where it felt like it was more heavier bodied, and this is a lighter body, like a little lighter bodied. I don't dislike that, but I think it's really, really good. Great Oktoberfest. I would drink this all day long. This and Sugar Bobs, I think it's a funny name. Drink me some Sugar Bobs. Smooth, malty, clean, sweet, heavy. Yeah, I don't know. I really like it. I gave that one I gave it the 4. Didn't protect it there. Yummy. I'm gonna sit on that for a little bit. I'm gonna line them up. We're gonna line them up. Unfortunately, 2 of the breweries have an unfair advantage because they're competing against 3 beers of the same brewery, but that's just the way it works sometimes. Once again, if you're a brewery or someone who works there, or if you're checking this out and you would love to come on the episode and do a video call with us and learn about your beers, we were 100% down to have anyone on. Let us know. Reach out to us. If you're someone who's just listened to the episode, screenshot it. Screenshot the episode. Let us know feedback. Hey, I listened to the episode. It was really good. I think a lot of times too, people they're out and about, they're listening on their phone, they're driving, they're just walking around at the gym, and they forget to leave that 5-star review or just a comment or say, hey, I listened to it, check it out. Just screenshot it and send us a screenshot of you listening and tell us what you thought. Maybe the comment section is not ready available if you're listening to audio only later on your playback. I had to burp so bad. I was trying hard to get that through. All right, Bill, your first pick, beer of the night. Torn. There's a lot of good ones. A lot of good ones. Do you have one in mind?
I'm gonna go with the Oktoberfest.
I'm with you. Doesn't matter what you think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm there.
Yeah. Number 2, I'll start the next one. I'm gonna go with the Bushwick. The Bushwick Lager was really good. That's my pick for 2.
I'm gonna go with the same because I was in between the Oktoberfest and that for my top.
I was in between that and another one for number 3, so I'll we'll make that easy and see if we all go the same way for number 3.
You want to? That's exactly where I was going to. Outlaw.
Yep.
Outlaw. Very good. I guess we have a very simple taste pattern.
Yeah.
We like our lagers, pilsners, and Oktoberfest. Yeah, all good beers. So the Oktoberfest is going to win the episode from Ashable. Sorry, Ashable, if I'm saying that wrong. Brewing company. Queen City takes second place with its Bushwick Lager. I'd love to learn more about the name or the style of that, or if you're just baseball, and I just wonder where it came from. I don't know. Just curious.
That is a legitimate. It might actually be in Queens instead of Brooklyn, but that is a New York City neighborhood.
I've heard that before, like Bushwick. Yeah, the Bushwick thing. Outlaw Brewing Company, their American Blonde Ale. Very good. Great episode. I know this is probably not gonna, if you want to plug the same stuff again, you can, because the separation between episodes is gonna be so far away. Yeah. But what do you want to plug, Bub?
Well, take it in a completely different route then. We were talking about music, live music. Go see it. It's available again. I'm hoping to see a couple of my favorite acts come someplace close by again. For the few people who know that they are, I'm dying to see Unknown Hinson and the Reverend Horton Heat play again. And we have some really great local venues around here for anyone who might be on the fringes of the area. Please go online and check out the Mock Chunk Opera House.
Yeah,
and Penn's Peak.
Yep. I know my dad was just at a show at the Opera House the other week. I don't remember who it was. But he goes and sees them every single time he's around. I don't remember,
That's right.
but I know that they do have a lot of good acts there. Not necessarily like large name national acts, but they get a lot of good tribute bands. They get a lot of good artists
Yeah,
come
well,
through
one
there.
one of my favorites. We were talking about Zeppelin for a while there.
Get the let out.
And well, everyone, and don't get me wrong, Get the Let Out is an
I've-
excellent cover. I've seen them several times
That-
before too.
And a Kashmir. Yeah,
That's where I'm
they're
going. See,
yeah
now,
they're
now,
really good.
Get the Let Out is their whole thing is about listening to a Led Zeppelin album, and they use 7 people to do that. And that's not a knock on them. They're very good.
Yep. Yeah. But
Kashmir's thing is about recreating a Led Zeppelin concert.
Mm.
And,
yeah, there's what, 4 of them?
and it's 4 of them,
Yep.
right? And they actually, if I recall correctly, like some vintage, actual, real
Yep.
gear that Zeppelin, used.
Oh wow.
Yep.
They're to the laser light show. A lot of people knock him and call him a poor man's Get the Let Out, but what they're trying to bring across is a little different. And
They're trying to recreate what you would have seen if you were there that day.
Yep.
and
Yep.
I love them. I
Yep.
think they're amazing.
Yeah. I would like to see both of them. I'm into it. What do you got, Bill?
I'm just gonna mirror Bob. Just try to go see live music.
Yeah.
Whether it be a local band, like a smaller venue, they've been struggling more than
We lost like
the
3 or
larger
4.
venues.
We lost like 3 venues during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Like 3 places
Like-
just shut down. We
yeah.
can't afford to
It's
stay
just
open.
it's just like that. It's just not. I know that like restaurants and stuff were struggling, but as were concert venues, like
Yeah, I mean restaurants struggle for a little bit, but I feel like once enough people were able to support and do takeout, restaurants did better.
yes,
But the arts took a hit.
yeah. So just if a local place has a band, just be responsible and go see them, but make sure you go out and go see them and spend money and get tickets. And
So I'll just kind of mirror it as well, but support your local artists. Every single band that you're seeing, they all started somewhere, and a lot of these bands, they may not be the greatest time the first time you see them, but it comes down to your heart and passion, and they work really hard, and bands grow, and it takes a lot of time to get those reps in. So support those bands, and sometimes your best cover bands in your area turn out to be something else. Like
The Empty Chair today.
yeah, Andy's an amazing musician. He's super, super talented. He's really good at what he does. So our intro music, Faith and Exile, if you're into the intro music, go support them. We try to support local artists by doing the intro stuff like that. Go show them some love. If you want to check out another band in our area that really did a really good job and they're torn all over the place, Crowbot. So that'll be my plugs. That'll do it for the IWP Network. Like I said, thank you guys so much for joining. Let us know what you thought. Give us a review on Apple or head over to our website at iwepnetwork.com. Support the network. There's merchandise. All the shows are there. Every show has its link to its merch pages. If you want to do a donation, our link tree has that. It's $1, or you can anything you want to do. If you want to tip us a penny, anything, just let us know what you think. Leave us some reviews, feedback. Give us feedback. Let us know what you think. We'll read the feedback off. If we're terrible, tell us. If you like it, let us know. If you like this new style where we're kind of doing more topics in between the beers, I personally think it's a lot of fun. We were not really as much prepared for this episode, but I thought we got through it with the music talk.
yeah, we made it.
And we may bounce and do music again, but take it a different direction because Andy wasn't here. So anything's open. It's just kind of free flowing. But thank you guys so much. We'll see you next time. Bangin' Beers Podcast. We're out of here. See you next time.